All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, the Great Millstone, and salutations, brothers, doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. I'm the brother Ratazawanya, also known as Saint Benji, and I got with me
Shalom, the brother Shaman.
Khan. Through the spirit, we're gonna hop right into it, man. We in beautiful times. All right, the signs that are written are happening, which mean our Lord is coming soon, man. Our deliverance is nigh, and famine, the collapse of the dollar is all here, basically, man. It's just a matter of time. So I got a few articles pulled up right here. Had to text them to myself. Let me click on it. Get that one pulled up. I never downloaded it. Oh, there we go. Slack, you bear with me. It should be fast on the download this Newsbreak app. Man, you saw technology.
Hey, I got a quick one.
Go ahead, brother.
Yo, hey, this is Ecclesiastes 12:1.
Oh, that's a spirit.
All right, because hey, one of the scriptures we always go over is how somebody basically will foresee the evil days. Okay, and we know things are the green tree right now, but when the green tree dries up, the vintage fails, then things are gonna change, man. Everything is gonna change. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. All right, so we're supposed to remember our Creator, even when things are good, man. That was one of the parts in the story of Joseph, right? Where he was able to, Egypt was able to get through famine. Egypt was pretty much made great because of him. Right? They were able to store up corn and stuff, but this time, storing up corn, that ain't gonna work. But in that particular story, that's what saved Egypt and made them great. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few.
Now, there's another article. I'm going to read the title. It's on this other phone, but it's all good. I'm going to just read through it. It says, there is now a 98% chance of a global recession, which signals a severe downturn and more downside risk for stocks, research groups say. So these are financial experts, economists. That's who the keepers of the house are in that Ecclesiastes brother read. All right, the word economy, all right, means house manager. You go into the etymology of it. So it said, can you read that verse over?
Yep, it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves.
They have that fearful looking, like it says in 2nd Esdras. All right, they see what's coming, man. All right, they see what's coming, and now they do what? They have gloomy forecasts for the economy, man, for finances. All right. And if they're speaking on it, it's worse than what it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Because usually they don't tell you, when it's they usually try to correct it, but at a certain point, once it gets past where they can correct so much, they're like, well, shit, just print the article out.
In fact, now this one says markets are in chaos as monetary conditions tighten all over the world. So they're telling you. Investors began the week more shell-shocked than Alice after she fell down the rabbit hole and saw some things. In the past few days, global markets have been clobbered by unprecedented effort from the world central banks to lift interest rates and stamp out soaring inflation. All right, and inflation is when the price of goods increases, really the value of the money going down, but nevertheless the price of goods increase. That's inflation. And you have hyperinflation when it does it at an even more rapid rate. all right, which is a sign of a weak currency. And it said global. We know what's next, the digital currency, because it's written. They should receive a mark in the right hand on their foreheads, and they won't be able to buy or sell without it, which lets you know that mark comes with a form of payment. And it says this is happening worldwide. The time to try the world, like it says in Revelation 3. These are your economists, the keeper of the house right here speaking. You got it.
Yep. It says, and the grinders cease because they
Salakia. This is shifting the tectonic plates beneath the world economy and threatens dangerous developments in society and in politics as we all try to adapt. Bloomberg editor John Others noted. He is not the only observer who saw last week as monumental in market history, watching the dramatic events of Friday when stocks plunged and there's way more articles. You know, it's new shit happening every day. Just speaking financially, just speaking on the economy. All right, that was when I sent that to Malcolm, man. Another dollar dump by China. Let me see if it's this one. Here we go. China tells its banks to gear up for massive dollar dump, yuan buying spree. September 30th, 2022. So that's going to decrease the value of the dollar even more, which the whole world is tied to the dollar right now. So when the dollar plunges, the world economy is going to feel that shock. All right. That's really the point on that. You can search that title and read through it yourself if you're interested. Reverse currency war. The Federal Reserve's hawkish policy path has bolstered the dollar to 20-year highs this year, putting pressure on other central banks and triggering a reverse currency war. While a weaker currency can sometimes be beneficial, as it means exports get cheaper, the yuan's recent decline below the psychological threshold of 7 per dollar has raised concerns. This is somebody like tweet that they used in this article. All currencies are plummeting. Then it has this picture. China announced that they're ready to dump the dollar and insolvency is going to happen worldwide. Then they say that's the NWO goal. So that's that, man. The dollar's through. The dollar's through. It's costing too much to even use the dollar right now. That's not a good... The U.S. dollar is no longer a good business deal. Yep. Okay? Salaki, brother. You go back into that. Or whatever points you have, too.
I was just going to say, because the scripture said the inward thought is that the house should go on forever. So seeing them doing all this, seeing them reporting all these things, that must mean they must have some sort of correction that they want to utilize and they want to put, since they already know these things and they're presenting them openly now, they must have a plan already. Mm-hmm. All right, but going back to verse 3, it says, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened.
Salaki. Read through a little more of this article. Can you grab 2nd Esdras 16? Victuals shall be so good, cheap upon the earth. Because look, this says, where did I leave off at? Watching the dramatic events of Friday when stocks plunged and investors treated Britain like an emerging market, Neil wrote that it might turn out to be a monumentous day in economic, financial history in ways that aren't known. Here's the point. The rest of this quote. In ways that aren't known to the vast majority of people at the time. It's like we said, these people, when they telling you this, it's because it's already bad. And the fact that they said that most people don't know, mean there's even more information they haven't released yet. It's worse than what they're saying. And the majority of the people don't know. Let's unpack all this, as your manager would say. It all starts with the central banks. Basically, we've never seen central banks all raise interest rates by this amount at the same time in recorded history. All right? Which it says these rate hikes could have a disastrous effect on the global economy due to tightening financial conditions by too much too quickly. That is a wrap, man. Currencies, plural, are extremely volatile. The under-the-radar currency market is having a bigger moment than corn did last week. The pound slid to a 37-year low against the dollar after Britain released its much-scorned new budget. And Japan moved to prop up the yen for the first time since '98. Meanwhile, the U.S. dollar continues to soar as a safe haven in these ominous times. All right? This is what they're saying. Meanwhile, the dollar in America don't stretch as much as it used to. So these other currencies are volatile, and some countries may think, well, the dollar is still safe. The dollar is still safe. Meanwhile, the dollar is getting dumped worldwide. Only weaker, simple countries are still banning USD, man. And then this is the lies they say. Not everyone is predicting, and this is how you know it's lies. Depending on what article you read, they'll tell you some bullshit. They still got to try to throw peace and safety in it. You can grab that real quick. 1 Thess 5:3. All right. Not everyone is predicting economic catastrophe, despite markets. Man, Esau is a fucking liar, man. Despite markets suggesting otherwise. So the markets say catastrophe, but they saying, well, it's not going to be that. It says the U.S. can land this plane gently, some officials assured. Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic said yesterday that the country's strong labor market, keep this phrase in mind, that the country's strong labor market indicates that the Fed could cool inflation in a relatively orderly way. Yeah, hit that Bible question.
This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
And that's what's coming, man, destruction. They telling you about all this like shit that's gonna come, but then say, but it's gonna be okay. The job market is strong. Specifically, he said the job market is strong. You finish that verse out?
As travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
They shall not escape. This next article says, the Fed says unemployment will rise. So, wait, one article said, well, the strong, but this is, look, they call what's been happening over these last few months the Great Resignation. Millions of peoples in different months have been quitting their jobs or not getting enough hours, and maybe they quit to try to go find something else, whatever the case may be. A lot of motherfuckers are quitting, whatever it is. Getting squeezed out, so it appears they're leaving. Probably getting fucking fired, man. Yep. All right? But it says the Fed says unemployment will rise. You can grab that 2 Ezra 16. Oh, you already there.
Yep, 2 Ezra 16 and 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
And that goes right along with what was mentioned in that article. That quote, that it was a quote in the article. You know, they was quoting another guy, and he said most of these people don't even know what's happening, man. And that's the scripture. That's the prophecy. All right, they're gonna be marrying and giving it to marriage still, like in the times of Noah, like it says in the Gospels. All right, they think, well, they can still, you know, the dollar still got some buying power, right? So it ain't completely flatlined. They can still get their Hennessy for $30, whatever the fuck it costs. I don't buy Hennessy. All right, they can still get their pack of noodles. I don't know, maybe it's $3-4 now, whatever. All right, they can still go get their McDonald's at a value price. Okay. All right. So they think everything cool. They can still turn up. Meanwhile, evil's increasing. Famine is increasing worldwide. All right? And it's gearing up for here too. Reserve seeds, cattle dying, factories being burnt. The Lord is working his work. Terrible yield seasons, man. Mm-hmm. All right?
All these different floods and natural events.
It says knocking on famine's door. That's the next title of the next article. But this one says the Fed says unemployment. You can go back to Ecclesiastes. Okay. The Fed, unless it's more than that, second address.
Yeah, I got a little more.
Okay, so like.
Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
So famine and sword. Death is what's coming, man. Point blank, period.
Yep. And the dead shall be cast out as dung. Right? And there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted and the cities shall be cast down.
That's how much death is going to be. Ain't going to be no time to bury them. You know? It's going to be a lot of death. Mm-hmm. All right? The love of many shall wax cold. People are going to be killing each other to stay afloat, to feed their own families. All right? People are going to be killing each other just because it's the evil day. Yep. You know, it's just going to be sword and famine until it leads to that nuclear destruction.
Yep. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them?
That's really it on that. You go to Ecclesiastes.
Back to Ecclesiastes.
Yep.
See 12 and 4.
Read 3 over. Just to read into it.
Verse 3. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves.
Which we went into that part.
Mm-hmm. And the grinders cease because they are few.
And the grinders cease. So we got the economists worrying and grinding ceasing, which is jobs. Mm-hmm. Grinding it represents jobs. So even to this, that's how you know we're Israelites. A nigga say I'm on my grind.
On my grind.
Mm-hmm. It says it's few. The Fed says unemployment will rise. Here's who economists say will lose their jobs first. So look, it's the perfect storm. The Federal Reserve escalated its fight against inflation this week, instituting a major rate increase and saying more will likely follow. The moves will cause a jump in the number of unemployment. A number of unemployed Americans by the end of next year, the central bank said. So we read the one article, looked through it, and they're trying to fix the inflation. They raising rates to fix the inflation. They're doing this, they're doing that. And with the what they're trying to do to correct inflation and to correct rates is causing unemployment. Esau really is through, man. Real quick, this Isaiah, they can't do nothing right. They're done. This Isaiah 19 and 14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. And we know that spiritual Egypt, Revelation 11:8, is America, the place we're taken to on slave ship around 2868. All right, but they can't do anything right. They're erring in every work. Their policies, their help, whatever they come with, is just not working. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So unemployment is part of prophecy, and it's going to get worse. All right? So it said they're trying to slash prices. Let you know the dollar's going down. But let's see. I want to read this part, because this section says black and Hispanic workers. Black workers will be among the, as the old saying goes, first fired, last hired. That's an old adage, an old nigga adage, okay? Black workers will be among the first to lose their jobs if unemployment spikes, since they're disproportionately concentrated in industries sensitive to economic downturns. So first they tell you it's going to happen because the industry niggas are in. They get the service jobs, which will go first. But then it says, the truth behind it, racial discrimination often influences choices made by companies about which workers to fire, economists said. So niggas and Mexicans, you're going to be the first one gone.
Surprise.
The Fed's actions really do mean some disparate impact for black workers in the American economy. Michelle Holder, a labor economist at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, told ABC News. So this is what's happening. This is what's coming down the pipe. All right? You got it.
Yep. Let me start it over for the time. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
Con. So that's plain, man. We already broke it down. Unemployment's going to increase. The streets are going to be shut because if you can't get what you need, all right, what does it become? A dog-eat-dog world. Violence. The streets going to be shut. Cities going to be closed off. Martial law going to be in effect. All these things are going to come to pass, man. The prophets are telling you. Okay? And this is the last article that was on deck. This is, you have more on that?
That was
okay. This is knocking on famine's door. UN food chief wants action now. This Newsbreak app is acting the fuck up, man. Okay, open. Google Chrome. The fuck Chrome got to do anything? Satan being weird. Come on, man. There we go. Call all of him about Shimmy House Shy. Knocking on famine's door, UN food chief wants action now. The UN food chief warned Thursday that the world is facing a perfect storm on top of a perfect storm. And urged donors, particularly Gulf nations and billionaires, to give a few days of profits to tackle a crisis with the fertilizer supply right now and prevent widespread food shortages next year, which the sanctions on Russia played a big part in the fertilizer not being available. And the prophets did sit-downs on this. You know, through the Spirit, I did one about this exact thing when it came up, about the fertilizer, man. Now we hear it coming back up again. This world does not yield its increase to this devil, man. There's too much wickedness in the air. The fertilizer is needed. Otherwise, this is what he says, there's going to be chaos all over the world. Beasley said that when 80 million people around the world were headed towards starvation. Oh, he said when he took the job 5.5 years ago, 80 million people were heading to starvation. Now he's going into climate change, blah, blah, blah. Russia invaded Ukraine February 24, sparking a war on food, fertilizer, and energy crisis that has pushed the number to 345 million. This how many people are going to be at the risk of starvation. Within that are 50 million people in 45 countries knocking on famine's door. If we don't reach these people, you will have famine, starvation, destabilization of nations unlike anything we saw 2007 to 2008 and 2011. And you will have mass migration. Okay, so it's saying 345 million people don't know where the next meal is going to come from. 50 million are knocking on famine's door already. That's what the prophecies say. This is Second Ezra 15. And we almost out here, Akim.
This is it.
And 9, and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with the mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with the plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the spiritual Egypt, America, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting in hell, and with the fearful constellation. Woe to the world! 45 countries, he said, facing famine already. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. There's going to be violence out there. And swords in their hands, for there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. So people are not going to be listening to their rulers. All right? There's going to be invading, home invasions, country invasions. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. The street shall be closed, like I said in Ecclesiastes 12, martial law. Salakia. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Famine will be on this earth, which comes with more violence. All right? And what's going to happen in the midst of that? Behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. Zephaniah 3 and 8. This is World War III. The world is going to be in chaos. All right? The world is going to be going through plagues. And in the midst of that, the Lord is going to cause World War III to happen. And he's going to come interrupt and establish his kingdom. You got something, brother?
God. There's all these things. It talks about the black horse. In fact, let me get it. All right, Revelation 6 and 5. All right, start at verse 4. All right, because all these things that we're dealing with, you know, and just another quick side note, like the brother said earlier, if you don't have the scriptures, if you don't have the right doctrine, if you don't have all the pieces to link together, when you read the news, or even if you are observative, you're not necessarily going to pick up on every single thing. All right, but having the right doctrine, it gives you, you know, the understanding to be able to understand, you know, basically all things. All right, but this is Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, and we know that represents Esau. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Okay, and we know that penny represents a day's wage. That represents a denarius. All right, and that represents great inflation. All right, and that, you know, that's the time that we're coming in. It was the Travis Scott concert. They said it was a black horse, whether it was really there or, you know, they created it with computer graphics or however they did it. You know, these are the times that we're coming in. All right, what do we just read? Those that do survive the hunger, they're gonna perish by the sword. All right, so this is the time, for you to be cemented, grounded, and rooted in the faith. It's not a time to, want to buck up. You got, 50 men, 100 men, all going in on the same doctrine. This doctrine has been purified, 7 times 7. All right, and Jake, still want to, play around and come with, all this false science and stuff. This is the time to be rooted, to take all this stuff in, so that when the time comes, man, you can be under the shadow of the Heavenly Father. So you don't want to be out here, still asking questions. You still on the other side of the line, shit going down, and now you looking around like, damn, I should have just, paid closer attention and listened close. No, I'll do that stuff now.
That's the beginning of Ecclesiastes 12. That you read. That first verse. We can read that over.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Yeah, before that evil come, man. Now's the time to get right. Now's the time to show our faith by our works. Okay? I have believed, therefore I have spoken. You had something else?
That was it.
You had something you wanted to get before the revelation.
Oh, yeah. I think it was... Because that's all throughout the scriptures, man. Remember the Lord in the day of thy youth. Remember the Lord. Remember the Lord. Remember the Lord. Remember. This is all a reminder. This is Psalms 34 and 12. It says, what man is he that desireth life and loveth many days, that he may see good? Keep thy tongue from evil and thy lips from speaking guile. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. And all throughout the scriptures, we see that, man. The evil are multiplied for destruction. Right, these people think that because, I'm part of the crowd, I'm part of the clique, the majority, doing all this other bullshit, that, I'm gonna be okay. We're gonna mob up, we're gonna gang up, and we're gonna, it's gonna be like a movie or something. The Book of Eli, you had the wandering gangs and all that shit. Nah, man, people are gonna be at each other's throat for that last bag of dog food. All right, they're already acting crazy now. Jake, of course, we just read the first fire. Jake is already, the men are all into all kind of shit. The women are all into prostitution and OnlyFans and shit, trying to make a way. Imagine when they turn all of this shit off, and the only way is for you to be a part, plugged into their system. All right, then it's really gonna get real, man. This is just the beginning.
And as Paul said, I write down these things to scare you, but to warn you. And we're getting on this, Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for the Lord Yahweh shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name. That he who blesseth himself in the earth shall bless himself in the power of truth. All right, that the doctrine is important, man. He that sweareth in the earth shall swear by the power of truth. That doctrine is important, man. Because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from mine eyes. So the men that follows the power of truth, all right, Lord willing, we are the elect that endure to the end. We will be saved from all these evils to come, man. Period. Famine, sword. So you should laugh at it, man. Laugh at famine. All right, be in league with the beasts of the field. No evil shall come nigh thee. You know, this is what we're looking forward to. So, as Yahweh Shai said in Luke 21, watch and pray always. So that's what we must do. Watch, look at the signs. All right, we must be in prayer to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. He direct our way in truth. All right, that he bless us to endure, because to finish the verse out way Yahweh Shai said, I might as well get it. This is Luke 21, 36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. So to escape these things, we must be watching. We must be praying. All right, and in that prayer, you know, we're praying to be counted worthy, man. To escape this hell and to stand before Yahweh Shai. To be able to stand before Yahweh Shai and receive a crown at his hands. A crown directly from the hands of the Lord on our head. Abaratazah, we're those men. That's great honor. Yahweh Shai is a king. He's putting crowns on other men's head, man. Other kings' head. Other servants' head, raising them up to be kings. Raised up to be kings. Anything else or point you want to make? So with that, hope is edifying. All praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, great millstone, and Southeast brothers doing this thing in sincerity, in truth, and in charity. Shalom, wa Baba Ball.